Hi there, good morning, welcome to my channel. It's really early in the morning but I decided to just make this video to go with the flow. So I'm making this video because like this is going to sound very cliche. I get a lot of questions about people. I get a lot of questions from people that are trying to come to the UK to study or whatever. It's Jakpa season, everybody knows that. It's September, or it's well, it's Jakpa season. We just finished September, so a lot of people are traveling down to the UK for various reasons. One top of the list being studying. So I've had some people ask me to advise them on what routes to follow, on what to do. Okay, so first of all, I have to start by saying that before you decide that you want to Japan, you want to travel, you have to know exactly what it is that you are looking for, and then you do your research based on the countries that are available to travel and what they are offering and what your own goal is. Okay, so it doesn't have to just be the spur of the moment. It doesn't have to be an impulsive act. It's something that has to be properly thought through. So first of all, you need to understand exactly why you want to travel, right? So let's say, for instance, you're trying to get, let's say it's just the degree that you want. You're going to go back to your country, or you're going to go back to Nigeria and practice whatever it is. Well, it's fine, you can go anywhere as long as it's quality education. But let's say you're looking for a means to a second citizenship. In my opinion, well, there are a lot of countries that can offer that, but in my opinion, the fastest and the most stress-free in the long run option has to be Canada. So let's say you're trying to get a second option, a second passport, and you have the money to go to school. I think that the right place for you to be looking to is Canada. I'm in the UK, but I've come to realize that it doesn't exactly offer me what I want easily or as fast as I want it. So now say my course is like 2 years. I'm going to finish the 2 years, and then they're offering a 2 years post-study visa. That makes it 4 years, right? So assuming you don't get a job that has a tier 2 sponsorship, that has like that visa is what allows you to stay indefinitely in the country, like to work whatever job it is that you are specializing in or that you are qualified to work in. So let's say you don't get a job, which is very possible. Most students don't get like actual jobs that are in their field while they're studying, because there's a limitation of the number of hours that you're supposed to work in a week. And so it now boils down to the bulk of us doing care jobs, which is what is very obtainable in the UK. But imagine that you studied, I don't know, you studied something else. Maybe you studied maybe not med lab, because then that's easy, but you studied something entirely different, or even you're an art student, and then you come here, you're unable to get a job that is in your field, because most of the time they are not willing to give you the part-time jobs that are going to allow you to work for 20 hours. So then you end up taking care jobs, you do trainings, and you become a care worker. Now that's something you can actually get your sponsorship, your work sponsorship, your work visa, doing a care job. But in the long run, is that what you want to do in your life? Is that the career path that you want to take? So let's say I do it in the first 2 years of my studying, and then I finish studying, I take the 2 years sponsorship, 2 years post-study visa, and I continue to do the job. Before you know what is happening, 4 years is gone. And then now in the long run, in the years that are supposed to count, or that's supposed to accrue to you being eligible to apply for your permanent residency or your passport in the long run, those 4 years do not count. So in my opinion, you've wasted 4 years if your goal was getting a passport. So now those first 4 years are gone. Or you can get a sponsorship from a care job, and then you have to be doing care job until maybe you find something else. Before you know what is happening, the years go by, and then you're stuck doing it for the rest of your work life. And then for you to qualify to actually apply for PR, for a permanent residency in the UK, you have to have lived here for like 5 years. That's a long time if you ask me. And then for you to be eligible to apply for your passport, you have to have lived for 10 years. Whereas if you went to Canada and you studied for 2 years, you're um, automatically qualified to apply for your PR. And if you stay for, is it 4 years now? I'm not sure. Then you can apply for your what is it called, for your passport. Same thing applies to Australia. And these two countries are actually deficient in skilled workers. So let's say you do one of those things, maybe you're an engineer or you're a doctor or you're one of those things, or you're a nurse. But basically, if you do study in the country for 2 years, you're qualified to apply for a permanent residency, which I think is a plus, which is the goal if you're trying to get a passport. So coming to the UK, I understand that UK is like the easiest route to go through, but then there are some courses that the UK just offer, and they're really not going to give you they're not going to give you an employment simply because you have a master's. They'll give you an employment based on your work experience. So now, if in the 4 years that you're here, you're not doing a job that is pertaining to the work that you've studied for, or that you're qualified to do based on your degree, they won't just give you the job because you have the qualifications. You don't have the experience. So in the long run, it doesn't really pay off. So you need to, that's why I started by saying you need to do research to find out what the course that you're trying to study, what are the employment potentials of the course. If you go to this school, or if you go to this country, what are you going to do afterwards? What is the plan? Reach out to people that have gone through that route and ask them what they did and how they got to, if they have progressed in the career, how they got to where they are at that point. So you don't just want to wake up and go to the UK, or you don't just want to wake up and UK is the easier version. But what I've come to realize from my research is that Canada is really not that difficult as long as you check all the boxes. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing like the UK, but it just takes a longer process. So you just have to prove why you have the money, and then I think that the money has to be in your account for longer periods. So it's easier for people to just come to the UK because you have to have the money, and you don't exactly have to prove how you got the money. They just want to be sure that you have the money. Another thing I would like to talk about is there's a misconception that if you're coming to the UK, you just have to pay your initial deposit. That's a misconception that throws a lot of people into confusion when they finally get here. So that's not it. Given you don't have to pay an application fee if you're trying to get to the UK, but you have to pay if you're going to Canada. And then they tell you that in the UK you have to just pay your initial deposit, which is around 2k to 5k pounds, and then you're good to go. When you come, you can just start work immediately. It doesn't work that way. You cannot just start to work immediately, because you have to apply, you have to do the trainings, and then you have to get the certificates, and you have to start work. So it's not something that you can just do immediately you get into the country. And then another thing is, immediately you get into the country and you enroll, your school will start bombarding you to pay. You're supposed to have paid, I think, 50% of your tuition. After you have paid that, then you can negotiate. In most schools now, you have to have paid 50% of your tuition. So let's say your tuition is 10k, you have to have paid 5k at resumption. That's before you even start school. You have to have paid 5k at resumption. Immediately you get into the country and you enroll and collect your student ID, whatever it is that you need to collect, you have to have paid 50%. After you have paid 50%, then you can begin to negotiate the installmental payments that you want to, or you can afford to pay thereafter. So what some people do is that they just hustle. Let's say the deposit was around 2k, they'll just pay the 2k, and then they'll come to the country with a deficit of like 8k or 12k or 14k, as the case may be. And then you have to, that's when you begin to crack your head. That's when it dawns on you that, oh look, this is not how it works. I need to have done this, or I need to have paid this money, and most people don't have that money. So what I'll advise is that you actually find a way to have at least 50% of your tuition before you get to the country, else it's going to throw you into confusion. You won't even have the time to attend your classes, and there's a limitation of work hours. And then if you're going to have to go through the corners to work, and you're going to stress yourself. Trust me, you don't want to be doing shifts from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. the next morning, or from 8 a.m. to 2, and you don't want to do that. You're going to wear yourself out. You're going to finish. You won't even have time to concentrate at school. So you want to do your proper findings. Don't let, sometimes I hear that some agents are the ones who actually push people and tell people that, oh, you don't need to, all you need to do is pay the deposit, because they want you to pay them for agency fee. You don't have to pay for any agency fee. I mean, agents, maybe they have the experience and then they can guide you, but then again, an admission is something that you can actually process by yourself. So you go to the website of the school that you think that you want to go to, find out when they open admissions, go through the process, take your time to read, take your time to do some research, go on YouTube, come on YouTube, watch videos like this that tell you what you're supposed to do, and you go ahead and fill your form by yourself. Make proper inquiries, and then say you have finally gotten to the country, you've done all your research, and you think that you want to come to the UK. When you get here, the first thing that you need to do, you need to go to your school, you need to enroll. Oh, before you even get here, I've seen that accommodation has been such a huge issue for people, especially this season, September. It's been very difficult for people to get accommodation. If you intend to come to the UK, like you're sure that you've gotten your admission, you've gotten your CAS, you've fixed the date for biometrics or any of that, you want to start looking for accommodation before you get here, because you're going to be thrown again into confusion if you get here and you don't have anybody, like any personal person that you think that you can put up with for a period of time, or you don't have a lot of money to be doing hotels or Airbnbs for the period. You want to find those websites that there's Rightmove, there's apartment share, share apartment. I'll put the links in the description of this video. Links to where you can actually find apartments before you get here. So you schedule a viewing, and then when you come, you go look at the apartment, pay and move in, so that you know, or you can just view it online if it's convenient for you. The shortest tenancy that you can find is usually 6 months. But don't worry, 6 months is going to come and go so fast. At least you're not going to be thrown into it, because the amount of money that you're going to spend staying in hotels or staying in Airbnbs or stressing over having an apartment is not really worth it. So just, even if you don't like the place totally, just stay for the first 6 months. While you're here, you can now begin to find a proper accommodation that you think you would really love, like something that is your choice. So you want to first of all find an accommodation before you get here, and then when you get here, you want to go to school, enroll, get your student ID. You go to the bank. There's a letter that you're supposed to collect from school that gives you authority to open an account. So you take that form to the bank, any bank of your choice, and open an account, open a proper account, because a lot of things that you're going to be doing, let's say you're trying to travel or any of that, you're going to have to bring a bank statement, and eventually you want to put the money that you came with, you want to change it. Let's say you're coming from Nigeria, the naira you brought, you want to change it into the currency, the pounds, so you have to have an account where you put it. So I'll advise that you have 2 accounts. One is any of the online banking accounts, maybe like Monzo or Monese. I use Monese and most of the time for day-to-day transactions, and then I use Lloyd's Bank for like on an official account, because so Lloyd's Bank is to like First Bank, as Monese or Monzo is to like VPay, VFD Bank or Kuda Bank, or any of those online banks that we're used to in Nigeria. So you want to open your account, you want to settle into your school's portal, understand your timetable. If you come early, you go to your school for your orientation week, and then you get to learn some of the things that you're supposed to know and all the benefits that you have being a student. So you want to do that, and then settle in properly and attend your classes. You have to understand that as much as you want to work, you have to balance it with school, because if you miss your classes a lot, home office is going to call you or they'll send you a message. School is going to send you a warning if you miss too many classes. Yeah, so you just want to settle that. What else am I supposed to talk about in this video? I think that's about it. I was just rambling. So this is a very impromptu video. If there's any information that I've missed from here, you can shoot your questions in the comment section, and then I would answer. Otherwise, please remember to subscribe. It's absolutely free. Just click the red button that says subscribe, and beside it a bell is going to come on that is going to tell you to click on it, and then you get notified every time I upload a new video. I have like an array of videos on my channel, a lot of videos from talking about different things that are interesting to me, or my life, or my travel, or my films. So please subscribe. And my hair is from Becky's Waves. I'll put the handle on the screen and put it in the description box as well. Feel free to shop. We deliver for free in Nigeria, and we deliver in the UK as well. Yes, that's basically all I have to say in this video. So in summary, in conclusion, do your research before you pick a country you want to go to. Know what your goals are, and make sure that the country aligns with what you want, and the job opportunities are there, and the course that you are picking is actually relevant in your future plans. So you have to put that into consideration. Get an accommodation before you come to the UK if possible. When you get to the UK, avoid crime. Avoid doing things that you know are going to bring some eyes on you. Attend your classes. Make sure not to break bounds, because these people, everything that they do, they document it. So you might think that, oh, you've gotten away with it, but you don't know that your fingerprint is somewhere, and so you want to avoid any of that. You want to avoid what is going to jeopardize your chances in the future. Attend your classes. Mix up with people. I mean, it's a very multicultural place, so you want to mix up with people from other tribes and learn new things. Open your mind to exploring, open your mind to learning things that you're not familiar with, and be of good cheer. Basically. Bye until I have something else to say. Please subscribe.